Hi y'all, my name is Lauren. I'm going to be doing a book talk with y'all today about fantasy novels. I have 5 different books that I'm going to discuss with y'all. So, have you ever felt like that maybe you wanted some kind of like magical powers, maybe just to wave a wand and something would go your way, or you were able to talk to animals? Well, this first book that I'm going to talk to y'all about is called All Birds in the Sky by Charlie Anders. It's about 2 childhood friends, Patricia and Lawrence, who didn't expect to see each other again after parting ways under mysterious circumstances during their middle school years. In the meantime, Patricia discovers she's developing magical powers, and Lawrence, being an engineering genius, invents a 2-second time machine. But now they're both adults living in San Francisco, and the planet seems to be falling apart around them. Lawrence, again being an engineering genius, is working with a group that's trying to avert catastrophic breakdown through technical intervention. Patricia is a graduate of the Hidden Academy for the World's Magically Gifted and works with a small group of other magicians to secretly repair the world's ever growing ailments. Little do they realize that something bigger than either of them, something begun years ago when they were children, is determined to bring them together to either save the world or bring it into a new dark age they've never seen before. So I'm going to read y'all an excerpt from this book. And it says, Theodulfus had come to the mall looking for 2 special children because he needed a pro bono hit to keep up his standing in the Nameless Order. To that end, he had made a pilgrimage to the Assassin Shrine in Albania, where he'd fasted, inhaled vapors, and gone 9 days without sleep. And then he'd stared into the ornately carved seeing hole in the floor of the shrine, and he'd seen a vision of things to come that still replayed in his nightmares. Death and chaos, engines of destruction, whole cities crumbling, and a plague of madness, and at last, a war between magic and science that would leave the world in ashes. At the center of this were a man and a woman who were still children now. His eyes had bled as he'd crawled away from the seeing hole, his palms scraped away and his knees unhinged. The Nameless Order had recently imposed a strict ban on killing minors, but Theodulfus knew his vision to be holy. So that was an excerpt from All Birds in the Sky by Charlie Anders. This next book that I'm going to be talking y'all about is called Vision in Silver by Anne Bishop. This book specifies between 2 different races, so the others and the humans. The others were there, they had freed a specific people to protect what the blood prophets, which they called the humans, from exploitation, not realizing their actions would have extreme consequences. Now the fragile seers are in greater danger than ever before, both from their own weakness and from those who seek to control their home for evil purposes. Looking for some type of answer to the madness that has come about, Simon Wolfgard, a shapeshifter leader among the others, has no choice but to enlist Blood Prophet Meg Corbin's help, regardless of the risk. Meg sits conflicted by her addiction to the euphoria she feels when she cuts and speaks prophecy, but she knows each time she makes a cut, her blade tempts death. The others and humans alike need answers, and her visions may be Simon's only hope of ending the conflict. So I'm going to read y'all an excerpt from this book. Meg Corbin entered the bathroom in the human liaison's office and laid out the items she'd labeled the tools of prophecy: antiseptic ointment, bandages, and the silver folding razor decorated with pretty leaves and flowers on one side of the handle. On the other side of the handle, engraved in plain lettering, was the designation CS759. For 24 years, that designation had been the closest thing she'd had to a name. And that was Vision in Silver by Anne Bishop. So the next book I'm going to talk to y'all about has to do with sirens. So have you ever maybe wished that you could live at sea or just maybe stay at the beach and be one with the ocean? Well, this book is called The Siren by Kiera Cass, excuse me. But her story's a little bit different. Instead of wanting to be at the ocean, a girl named Callan, who's 19, is bound to the ocean. She's bound to serve the ocean for the next 100 years by luring humans with her voice, which is deadly to any that hears it. she finds a human that she spots one day and can only think about how handsome he is, a boy who's everything she's ever dreamed of. She knows that falling in love puts them both in danger, but she can't seem to stay away. Even though she only has 20 years left bound to the ocean, she suddenly feels like she's willing to risk everything just to follow her heart. So I'm going to read y'all an excerpt from this novel. Come throw your heart into the waves. Your soul is lost and it still saves. Drink me in and come undone. Trade 1,000 lives for one. Come away, drink it in. Drink and sink and let it end. You are no more, you are no less. For all must die, all must rest. Bring your body unto me. Let your graveyard be the sea. Come away and drink it in. Drink and sink and let it end. And so that was The Siren by Kiera Cass. And the next book I'm going to talk to y'all about is called Fool's Quest by Robin Hobb. This one is about the two main characters named Fitz and the Fool, who long ago changed the world. In turn, it brought back the magic of dragons and secured both the Farseer succession and the stability of the kingdom, or so they thought. But now the Fool is near death, crippled by mysterious pale-skinned figures whose plans for the world domination ride upon the powers the Fool may share with Fitz's own daughter. Distracted by the Fool's hazardous health and swept up against his will in the intrigues of the royal court, Fitz lets down his guard. In an instant, his world is undone and his daughter is stolen away by those who would use her as they once sought to use the Fool as a weapon. So this book is more about kind of like the different kind of worlds, and it's more of an actiony one. So if that's something that you're into, kind of more of a fast-paced book, then this one would be better for you. I'm going to go ahead and read y'all an excerpt from this book. And in that instant, terror swept through me. Had I thought earlier I recalled what the Fool was enduring? No. I had forgotten the icy flood of certainty that every hand was against me, that the good people of Buck, dressed in their holiday finery, would tear me apart with their bare hands, just as the flock of crows was tearing that lone bird apart. I felt sick with fear, in my legs and in my belly. I began to walk away, and at every step I thought they must see how my legs quivered, how white my face had gone. I gripped my package with both hands and tried to walk on as if I were the only one uninterested in the aerial battle overhead. So that was Fool's Quest by Robin Hobb. And the next book that I'm going to talk to y'all about is more of a horror fantasy type book. So if you're into like scary things that scary novels, this would be a better one for you. So this novel is called The Crow Garden by Alison Littlewood. So The Crow Garden is about a man named Nathaniel. He's haunted by his father's recent suicide, walks away from the life of a consultant to become what they call a mad doctor. He takes up a position at an asylum, but is more interested in growing his collection of skulls than his patient's mind. Nathaniel seems only to find one case of interest, the case of Miss Victoria Adelina Harleston. Her husband has accused her of hysteria and delusions, but she accuses him of hiding secrets that she finds to be far more terrible. Nathaniel is increasingly obsessed with Vida. When he has her mesmerized, there's unexpected results. Vida starts hearing voices the way she used to, ones that her grandmother always claimed they came from beyond the grave, but it also unleashes her own powers of mesmerism and a desperate need to escape. So this one's definitely scarier. So if you like that sort of stuff, then this would be a good book for you. And that was The Crow Garden by Alison Littlewood. And that is all 5 books that I have to talk to y'all about today. All of these are really good books, some of my favorites. So thank y'all for listening to my book talk, and I hope you enjoyed it.